So usually after the games, I do Q&A, right, where I take your questions, answer them here. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, it being Christmas and all, being in the holiday spirit, being very cold, and that is to get your Christmas list for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm going to go over y'all's. I might even bring up mine's at some points, but let's see what the Browns fans want from the Browns for Christmas. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to have excellent snarky responses. Is that what you call it? Like, really, really sarcastic responses down in the comment section. A lot probably doing the I want wins, right? We're probably going to do that. But that being said, let's get started. And this first one's from an actual Christmas elf, y'all. It's from Rail the Christmas Elf. I believe he calls himself a Christmas elf because he is about 6'6" or something like that. It's one of those things. But Rail says Grady Jarrett somehow. It's impossible, but I applaud it. Jesse Bates, Mecole Hardman is interesting in the Anthony Walker re-sign. Well, you're probably gonna get the Anthony Walker re-sign. Is Mecole a free agent this year? If he is, and you might be able to get him. Jesse Bates, though, I don't think Jesse Bates is like, this is me personally. I think Jesse Bates is massively overrated. I think he's the type of safety that can get paid, but once you pay him, you regret it. Like, I feel like you're just signing John Johnson again. Because when I watch Jesse Bates, I see a dude who's easily moved in cover one schemes. He's easily moved in cover two. The only place where he's useful is 3. And then, like, what's the point of having a free safety if you're going to run him in 3 a lot, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Jesse Bates guy in the world. I would like Mecole and I would like Anthony Walker. The next one comes from Gabby Gowdy, who I guess is popular on Twitter, right? I've had Gabby on the show. She says wins. I would agree with that. CJ says a run defense, a 1-5 a dome stadium, 4 a consistent offense, 3 a true free safety, 2 Daron Paynes, and a run defense. But yeah, this is all valid, right? You want a true free safety. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the money to get a true free, like a superstar true free safety. I don't. Daron Payne would be nice, but I don't think you're going to have to. That wouldn't make sense economically to get Daron Payne. A dome stadium, I mean, that's doable. A more consistent offense, that'll happen. Run defense, though, that comes with the defensive tackle position and some better linebackers. So I think all of that is valid. The next one comes from Fat Boy Season, who says, to the tune of 12 days of Christmas, 5 healthy linebackers. That's literally true. That's crazy. This is very creative. 5 healthy linebackers, 4 division wins, 3 good D tackles, 2 new coaches, and 1 Super Bowl ring in my lifetime. I gotta give it to you, Fat Boy Season. That was very creative. That might be the best one yet. 5, like literally to the number, 4 like this is crazy. The Browns are at 3 division wins right now, or they have 4 right now? They got Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pitt. Yeah, they're at 3. Wow. This was very creative. I applaud you. This is why I wanted to do something like this, because you never know, right? Jackson McCurry with the most popular answer on the Twitter thread said, new ownership, new defensive coordinator. True free safety seems to be on everybody's list. The Browns might have to draft a free safety. I don't know if you could sign one in free agency and it makes sense, but you could draft one. Because I just don't think Jesse Bates is that guy that we want him to be. You know what I mean? Like, we want a true free safety. I don't feel like you could use Jesse Bates like a true free safety, because every time Cincinnati he's gone off. And when you look at the games that Baker Mayfield has had against the Bengals, it's been because Jesse Bates was playing true free. But yeah, all this is valid. I mean, we always want a new defensive coordinator, especially after this year. D tackle, yes, sir. Speed threat at wide receiver. It seems like we all are pretty unanimous on what we want from the Browns for Christmas this year. And I think most of it's doable. All right. The next question not question. I see I'm used to doing Q&A. The next wish list comes from Cam, who says Jalen Carter, Sika, EK. I got to get on my draft stuff because I'm not up on any of them. I know Jalen Carter is a dude from Army. He's a big dude. I think he's like 6'6". I've seen some of his tape. He looks impressive. He is going to be able to come out. I think Congress passed a law or something like that so he can come out and play immediately. An edge rusher in the second and third round. And even if we had to trade up for more picks or DeAndre Hopkins and see, I got to do some research. You put something on the list I'm not familiar with. I think more people did put him on the list too. Con Man says bring in Brandon Cooks this offseason and draft DTs and linebackers only. Well, that is a strategy. I can promise you that's not what's going to happen, but I don't blame the idea because the Browns have put us in a position to be like desperate for just some solid defensive tackles, right? Because we tired of watching this dookie on the field all the time on the defensive end. Emmanuel Ethics can't. I'm pretty sure I just said something. Sweep the Steelers. New defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator. Draft Sika. Yeah, he's another one. I guess he's a wide receiver. We don't have to do a breakdown on him. Jalen Hyatt. Big defensive tackle trade and signing and good kicker. Now you bring up a great point. Is it more likely that the Browns draft more defensive tackles or trade for one? And I think it's more likely they trade for one than draft one. Because quite frankly, they've been drafting them. It's been not working. And I would hope they would realize that they just need to get somebody solid in the room at this point. You can always draft more guys, but I think the main solution for this team at D-tackle is coming in through a trade. Now, that can go to one or two levels, right? You can get the Amari Cooper level guy, that we got at wide receiver, or you can make a trade for like a Taven Bryan. I'm hoping for more of Amari Cooper level. I hope we trade for somebody I've heard of. But, yeah, I do think that they're going to have to handle this defensive tackle position, and they're going to want to handle it with established talent. You know what I mean? Because defensive tackle is just one of those positions that take forever to develop because guys need to get bigger. The game's much different at this level than it is at college. It just takes a while for young DTs to really get acclimated. So, yeah, I think that they probably handle that hole through trade, free agency, and the waiver wire market. Duncan Don says Joe Woods suffering a non-deadly but debilitating scandal that ends his career. Brother, it is Christmas, dog. It is you gonna wish his career like you. He just don't got to coach here. Why we got to end his career? Like just he don't got to be here no more. You know what I mean? In Cleveland, coaching the Browns. But like he can be somewhere else. Damn, man. Let the brother have a job. It's Christmas. All right, Scrooge McDuck, dog. What was that? He let me go back and read it. Make sure I'm not tripping. That man said Joe Woods to suffer a non-deadly but debilitating scandal. Dog, what? I feel like you audibled at the last second too, Don. I feel like you audibled because it feels like you were about to say a non-deadly but debilitating heart attack that ends his career. That feels like what that sentence was supposed to say. And then you were like, yo, heart attack's kind of harsh. Let me throw scandal in there, right? Let me just say his personal life got ruined because of some debilitating scandal. Which, by the way, would not help the Browns, too, if we found out that he was like a terrible person behind the scenes and we employed him. That would fall back on the Browns, especially now. But, dog, just say you don't want him to coach here, man. We ain't got to do that. 171 people saw that venom that you unleashed on the timeline on Christmas. And one person liked it. And I hope you liked it from your other burner account because that's just not Christmas. That's crazy, man. All right. Big Money says no damn elf, white face mask, dome, and relocated to the NFC South. Big money is thinking big. Look, let's opt out of this AFC North football. You know what I mean? Why do we want to be in the toughest division in the NFL consistently? I don't get it. When you could just be in the NFC South. You know what I mean? And look, you can say Cleveland's not in the South. So it doesn't make sense for the Browns to be in the NFC South. The Cowboys in the East? You know what I mean? And let's be real. Cleveland is in Ohio. And Ohio may be north, but that's the South. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're onto something, big money. And I think you're thinking next level. And I like your list. See, everybody here was talking about things to fix the team. This man came up with ideas to fix the franchise's systemic issues. That's why we do this. All right, but I want to thank you guys for asking these, not asking, just sharing with me your Christmas list. I guess if I had to go with the Christmas list, I would go get rid of the elf, white face mask are done. I want to put, if I could put on a Christmas list, a tariff on drafting kickers. I think we need to penalize teams for doing that. You know what I mean? No more. You know, maybe kickers can have their own draft. Like special teams players, maybe that could be its own draft that I don't have to watch. You know what I mean? Like every year you just go into a pool, grab some kickers, put like 4 of them. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind if the NFL had special rules so you could just keep 4 kickers on your team. Because why not? All of these rules that we have in the middle of the game, right? Roughing the punter, roughing the kicker, only exist because teams have one dude dedicated to kick the football on the entire team. That doesn't make sense to me. Let's have 4 dudes who don't affect the 53-man roster on the roster just to kick footballs. So that way, if one gets hurt, we ain't got to call no flag, have no 15-yard penalty. We can just get them out of there. And then bring on the new one, baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just lean all the way in on these dudes are replaceable. You know what I mean? Let's just change how we view kicking once and for all. But in all seriousness, obviously, I want the Browns to get defensive tackles. I want them to make some adjustments on the offensive side of the ball philosophically. I think that's happening in the offseason, whether that means Kevin's going to be gone or Kevin stays and just adjusts his staff, which I think is probably happening. Defensively, I want a new voice there in the defensive coordination. And that's pretty much it for me. I can't think of anything else at this time, but it's just kind of a fun thing to share with y'all to do. Hope you guys are having or had a Merry Christmas. Y'all be good and have a great night.